So that was a switch in you, and you start reading books. You read over 1,000 books when you were in there.
Yeah.
And this is when Shaun changed.
Yeah. Someone gave me, all I'd ever read my entire life was finance books. Last book I'd read was To Kill a Mockingbird in high school, required reading. My sister's got a degree in classical literature. So we were complete opposites. I was the money guy and she was the book girl. So someone gave me Brave New World by Huxley and 1984 by Orwell. And I saw in those books, I saw in Huxley parallels with my party lifestyle. I think they were orgying on some drug called Soma and having these parties in Brave New World. And in 1984, I saw the tyranny of an authoritarian system, the conditions in the jail. You know, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who's basically like a neo-Nazi redneck worshipper of Harry Anslinger, who said, you know, gotta make weed illegal because black men will want to rape every white woman. It's like Sheriff Joe Arpaio worked under him and had a portrait of him in his office. So he created this absolute neo-Nazi, totalitarian hell on earth, which was reflected in 1984. And they gripped me. And someone said reading improves your writing. So I just went on a mission and I read over 1,000 books in just under 6 years. I read 268 books in 2006. When I told my sister that, she's like, you lucky bastard. People have jobs, have lives, have responsibilities. Nobody could ever do that unless you were like a mad monk in a cave. And I did have an epiphany moment where I felt like a mad monk in a cave because first year I'm wild, attached to all those material things. And then all of a sudden, facing 200 years, none of that material stuff matters. I let it go. And I could not believe the intense pleasure, the feeling of release from just craving all those things that I had my entire life, to let it go in a moment. And after that, I think, wow, where's that attachment gone that has driven me my entire life? And it taught me also that your happiness isn't in those things. It's in your thoughts and in your heart. And it's what your thoughts make it. So I read about, you know, the Stoic philosophers, Epictetus.
Yeah, what does he
Marcus
say?
Aurelius.
Epictetus is all about how you perceive things, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what is happening around you. Someone can jump in your face and say, I'm going to rape your wife and murder your entire family and then torture you slowly to death. According to Epictetus, you determine your reaction to that situation through your thoughts. You can just think to yourself, all right, this person is completely mentally ill, he's having a bad day, and just walk away. Or you can engage with that and it can become a violent situation and, you know, you could possibly get killed. For example, in prison, people are calling each other names all day long. And the people who react to the name calling, they get picked on the most. But according to Epictetus, someone can say something to you, and you can just say, you know, thanks for pointing that out. Have a nice day. Don't engage that person's negative energy and walk away from the situation.
And what about Aurelius? What'd you take away from him?
Oh yeah, Aurelius. I got obsessed with Aurelius, his book Meditations, and Nietzsche. Ecce Homo was my favorite with him. So Aurelius compares the chaos of life as a storm at sea. And you're the land jutting out into the sea, and the waves are crashing down upon you, and you're maintaining equanimity. And Nietzsche, I wonder what Nietzsche would think if he heard his quotes now being used in rap music. You know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But one of my faves is live your life like a work of art. I mean, look at how much effort people put into a work of art. If you put that much effort into your life, how much the quality of your life would improve. And I think that's something that you subscribe to.